Did you know that sketching is one of the most important forms of communication in the life of an architect?
अच्छा,
Do you find it difficult when it comes to architectural sketching or conveying your ideas through sketches? As architects, we are hungry for design ideas which may come at any point of time, whether we are in our dreams or in a shower or even walking in a park. So it becomes necessary to record these ideas and even the thought process that is running behind them. So in today's video, we will explore a series of sketches ranging from birds, animals to architectural buildings, from the vast architectural career of an architect ranging from residences, institutions, research labs and corporate offices, etc. In this video, we will go about a video walkthrough of a book, as before learning to sketch, we must have the right inspiration in place. And the book which we are going to go through is nothing short of a Bible for architectural sketching and understanding its true power. So the book which I'm talking about is Connecting the Dots, published by Mindspace Architects, which comprises of only sketches from start to end of one of the greatest architects, architect Sanjay Mohe. And the most fascinating thing about this book, and the primary reason for selection of this particular book, is that it not only showcases the sketches of buildings, but also it demonstrates the architect's fascination for birds, animals, cartoons, fruits or even daily objects, and how they get converted into real-time architecture building forms. And one more amazing part of this book, which separates it from the rest of the architectural sketching books, is that it not only showcases the sketches, but after each and every sketch there is a short note explaining the idea of why the particular sketch was drawn, or the thought process that was running behind the designer's mind, and ultimately how these ideas get converted into architectural building forms. Because sketching might seem visual, but it is to be felt with drawing and understanding the feeling with which it was drawn. So basically it reveals what happens behind the scenes in the mind of a designer. So this is going to be a great fun of exploring through the journey of these beautiful hand-drawn sketches. So I request you to please stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to reveal a super hack which will take your sketching game to the next level. And before starting off this video, I would like to make this clear that this is not a sponsored video. It is just that I'm sharing what has helped me in my architectural journey. So without any further ado, let's get started into decoding these beautiful sketches. So the broader framework for today's video book review would be to understand different types of sketches and their inspirations, and lastly the lesson that we need to take back from these sketches. So I would like to start off this video with a beautiful quote from this book itself, which explains the life of an architect in short, which goes like: architecture is a process of falling in love with an idea and a relentless fight for its realization. But in the process, one never seems to capture what one wants, and hence the process goes on and on. So we'll start off by having a look at some of these sketches from this book. I love to watch and draw animals. There is something about their posture, their movements, the sheen on their skin, the joints on their limbs that I find fascinating. The easy movement of a panther, the elegance of a horse. When you sketch a horse, you can feel the power of its form. Even now, whenever I'm going around the city, I always watch the animals. The posture of a cow's legs, its hump, its slow movement, it helps me understand the geometry and form. It can help me understand how can I resolve the structure of a building. So the posture of a cow in motion as well as sitting on the ground looks amazing. The beauty of a sketch is that right from detail to minimum lines, how can you represent a particular animal all having the same essence? The body of a horse, which I love the most, makes a bold, elegant statement in static as well as kinetic position. Sometimes it becomes easy to draw an animal in static position, but to represent the motion in a sketch is amazing and challenging. And the real essence lies only in capturing the animals in motion. The sketch represents the staticness of animal postures before performing a massive action of hunting for a prey. And whenever we think of drawing a cow, we always draw the side elevation. But the front elevation too looks amazing with a small head and a large body behind. And sometimes animal sketches also have the potential to become showpieces or artworks. Birds have an interesting body posture from the head to its legs with multiple colors and textures on all faces. And the fascination of animals does not stop but makes you try to interpret them in your own abstract manner with minimum lines. So this is an abstract representation of a horse. While sketching humans, bringing in an element of dynamism adds that tension in the limbs, like he's about to move or reach out for something. Sometimes you never know, sketches drawn purely out of interest also have the potential to become real life statues. Sometimes I just sketch exaggerated portraits when I'm watching TV of random people who appear on the news or in movies with their own set of unique style. I am always fascinated by Gandhiji's simplicity. A lot of people from my grandfather's generation may have been that simple, but they never made an issue out of it. But Gandhiji made a statement out of it. He celebrated simplicity to an extent that his simplicity is instantly recognizable. The spectacles, the stick, and the charkha. This is applicable to architecture too. Like when we see the works of Tadao Ando, he celebrates the simplicity of spaces, whereas other architects may also have elements of simplicity but do not make a statement out of it. This sketch is from a statue that I saw in China. I am always intrigued by tension and dynamism in the human body. One of the images that etched into my mind right from the college days is a photograph from the Life magazine of a conductor of an orchestra. The picture was full of creative tension, the wrinkles on his skin and the sweat on his brow as he conducted the music. Picasso has said, "It took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child." When you are a child, you draw without any baggage. Once you are an adult, you are always conscious of being watched. Unlearning all the things you have observed till your adult life is very difficult. And the human posture seems more amazing when it is in motion, just changing the medium of representation to create variation in a sketch. The sari fabric draped by a woman have an interesting play of color variations right from the attire to the ornaments they wear. This sketch was an outcome of some of the ideas that run in your mind when you are doing some important work, and it is necessary to bring them out to release that stress. The wrinkles and folds on a bare body as well as the cloth brings a tension to the sketch. And when you try to innovate your sketching by coloring it first and then drawing the necessary elements and comparing it even after adding or subtracting, does the sketch have the same meaning? Scribbling and doodling is a very important technique and also acts as a therapy for some people for releasing the cluttered thoughts, which refreshes the mind. And now coming to the building sketches, and you will observe from the previous section of animals and humans, some part of it gets replicated in the building in some or the other way. Developing an idea begins with the feel of a pencil on paper. The freehand sketch always has something beyond the mechanical quality. It is an expression from the heart. It has the heartbeats, it is a part of you, and it is an extension of your body. The sketch was drawn to test various light qualities in the living space. When you sketch, the expression comes straight from the heart. So your hand subconsciously puts more pressure on what is important to you, and this will reflect when you are reading the sketch, and this can never happen in a computer. And sometimes the sketches turn into exact spaces without any difference. A toy cube with multifaceted prismatic colored forms inspired the form and colors in this building. The accuracy of a sketch also matters to some extent and makes the sketch look real. The outside dressed in homogeneous stone with a pop of colors in the open pockets. This sketch began with a shell and later on went on to influence a design of another structure. What happens when you increase the scale of a sketch by around 100 times? What happens when you turn it upside down? The meaning completely changes and it may give you some other inspiration. And this particular sketch incidentally was done on top of a newspaper, which you can see at the corner, when I suddenly got the idea and wanted to record it somewhere. This was an insert in IIM Bangalore, so the form represents a sense of respect towards the master architect B.V. Doshi. This form was inspired by a stack of books, some open and some closed. Eventually it became a space. Sketching helps you understand light, how it moves and how it reflects in a building. In this image, reflecting western and eastern light entering the space through curved planes. We had this professor who used to make us see any building and draw the plan first and then draw various options of the elevations. So one cannot predict from the plan what would be the elevation, and that is the beauty of sketching. This was for a farmhouse in Kunnur, where an attempt of using terraces to exploit the sloping site view on the hill. A hillock was present around a kilometer away from the site, which had steps cut into the rock going up to a shrine on the top like a backdrop to the site. The design intention here was to make a visual connection with the steps in the hillock, and a library was designed as a non-building with skylights and steps to create the connect. An attempt to capture north light and block the east and west harsh radiations of sun that ultimately gave the building a sculptural look. These are some of the initial sketches for Dr. Reddy's Leadership Academy in Hyderabad. Sometimes I dream some spaces. This was one space which was distinct in my dreams. I could feel the texture of the walls, the light coming in from the skylight. I could see a sculpture of birds near the skylight. I sketched the space the next morning so that I can record the idea. This is the atrium of the Chamundeshwari Sugar Office in Bangalore, inspired from the curved faces and shape of a punch machine which was present on the table. Above sketch is an initial proposal for the atriums in the Titan corporate office, with walls curving upwards and creating a focus towards the skylight. Using colors for the inner faces of a school in Bangalore. I had seen one of the sculptures and tried to use the same idea for the IIM classroom complex. Sometimes you go to a site and you just know how it fits in. You work on the initial sketch on the site and the final building turns out almost like the initial idea. Although this does not happen most of the times, when it happens, it is a great feeling, like in this particular project. So this is a great joy that you get when the building looks literally like your first sketch. Certain things about traditional sketching is that, like when you are using a 4B or a 6B pencil and you stop to sharpen the pencil, that pause is important. It gives you time for an idea. This was for an apartment building, giving an effect of cubes stacked. This was from a building site where there was a stone quarry nearby with stones stacked up for that building construction. And the Jali wall for the Anjireddy Memorial was inspired from these stones. This was inspired by the shape and texture of semi-precious stones that a client of ours used to collect and show us, so we tried to use that as an inspiration. This was for an IT building with long facade, so an attempt was made to break the longer facade into smaller faces, which resulted into something like this. This was the facade development for a school in an attempt to bring in light as well as wind through the lower part for the brigade school. The requirement was to house games like badminton, TT, billiards, squash and its ancillaries, etc. Each of this space is shaped by the minimal geometry of a cuboid, adhering to the standard size required for that particular game. These cuboids are placed in a way that the in-between spaces become lounge, cafe and breakout spaces. So each cube represents the exact proportion of that game, such as billiards or TT. And the final form resulted like a series of floating cuboids. When you open a pomegranate, the inside of it takes you by surprise. The way it unfolds and the seeds come out just like jewels. This structure was inspired from that. And finally, a spine in a building. An attempt to work with the step section of an office for Rohan Builders in Pune by playing with double height spaces and floating courtyards. We observe and also use drawers on a daily basis, which has the potential to develop into a building facade. The concept here was that each cube to be a source of light. The existing building here at the IIM Bangalore campus by architect B.V. Doshi had an interplay of light and shade with long stretch of pergola, and we wanted this building to capture the same energy of light with a very contemporary expression. So there are cubes coming out from the walls, floors and also the roof. This project was called Cosmos and we were designing the entrance gate. We wanted the feel of walking through the gate to give the feeling of walking through a globe. The sculpture called Cathedral by Rodin was referred for the powerful and energetic cosmic effect. And the form was inspired from the spiral effect of the winds blowing around. Trying out various geometries to break the long facade into patterns from it being too monotonous for the Alexandria in Bangalore. This particular sketch was made for no apparent reason, but you never know, it has a potential to become something, and eventually it got integrated into one of the building designs of an atrium. As you sketch a building and develop the geometry, sometimes it starts resembling some other familiar object. Within the abstract form, you start discovering some other known form in the lines. In this case, the facade of the building came to resemble the form of an animal. We had a client who wanted a complete Vastu house with the southwest corner as the highest and the northeast corner as lowest. We tried to exploit this requirement into the elevation of the house with different heights at different corners. Some basic circular form building interpretations by layering of different concentric curved facades. These were some of the ideas of the facade which were inspired from the open pages of a book for the VIT School of Architecture in Vellore, and trying to explore the Mughal architecture in contemporary ways. And who thought a group of ladies sitting with a cluster with a sari on their head could have the potential to become into a building? And some different colored bottles inspired the form of this building with its lid as skylights. And now coming to some of the storyboard sketches from this book before the digital computer era. Perceiving spaces through serial vision sketches or storyboards before the advent of digital walkthrough era, which gives you the feel of discovery of spaces. So you perceive the spaces through series of sketches as you discover each corner of the building.
A few moments later.
And now coming to the last and most important segment, that is the lessons that we need to take back from this video. So the first and most important lesson that we need to learn is the idea of abstraction. As we can experience a beautiful collection of the architect's ideation of diverse interpretations of stacked books into a building form, the outline form of a stapler inspiring the inner surface of an atrium, and the inner surface of pomegranate getting incorporated into the spine of a building, whereas pulled out drawers of a cabinet interpreted into a facade, and the body of an animal getting incorporated into a facade of a building, and layering of different curved planes resulting into a building form, to the neck and beak of birds into the skylight which rises up, and the curved nature of the seashell inspiring the outer skin of a building, and the posture of cow's body inspiring the sculptural look of a building, a Rubik's toy cube of triangular and colored faces inspiring the form and colors inside the building, and the colors of a sari fabric getting incorporated in the pockets of a building, and the building form getting inspired from the body proportions of a horse in motion, to the entrance gate getting inspired from a hand sculpture, and the building resembling the position of a lion waiting for its prey, to a group of women sitting in a cluster inspiring a building form, to some colored bottles lying into the towers of a building. So these sketches convey a message that apart from studying other architects' building, you can also get inspired from the objects around you in your architectural journey. And also it does not stop here, but it provides a framework of how you can get inspired from anything and everything, and ultimately converting into a built form without killing your dreams. So let's say you get inspired from a fish, so your final building form doesn't have to look like a fish, but you can get inspired from some of its part and incorporate into your final design. And the second most important lesson is the journey of going from immeasurable to measurable. So what do I mean by this? The process of getting an idea is overwhelming, and it is even more overwhelming to bring it into real life, but it tends to lose its essence in this process. It is because whatever we dream is immeasurable and the building which we have to build is measurable. That means it has some form and proportion. And also in terms of traditional sketching, our brain signals the hand to sketch on a paper with a specific hand weights, so the parts which you feel need to be highlighted, you automatically apply more pressure making it dark and the rest of the part being lighter from it. But in case of digital mediums, your brain signals the mouse to work in a computer software, and due to the zoom in and zoom out of the mouse scroll, we lose focus from the sketch and cannot draw faster than the hand with rapid ideas flowing in your mind. So the journey of bringing the immeasurable to the measurable is an interesting one, which is beautifully demonstrated in this book. And the third important lesson that this book teaches us is you have to sketch to create memories. It is okay if your sketch doesn't get converted into a built form at this point of time, but it may get converted into a built form in the future. So you never know when the idea might strike you, but it is very essential to keep sketching and creating memories out of it. And the fourth important idea that we need to understand is there is nothing called as a bad sketch. It is just that how we convey a particular idea, either by plan or section or elevation or even a perspective view. So even before thinking of an idea or a sketch, we need to have an idea to gauge whether it would give out more information through a plan or a section or an elevation. And the last and the most important thing is that we need to read this book not only by our eyes but also by our hand, by starting to trace the sketches with a tracing paper on top, so that we train our mind and also the hand to get used to the art of sketching. So this is a great way of learning sketches by tracing some of the great buildings, so that you get used to some of the perspective views and also 1 point or 2 point perspectives. So it is clearly evident from the book's walkthrough that your dreams have the power to become a built form. So that's all from my side for today, guys. If you think you learned something valuable from this video, please do hit the like and subscribe button below in order to never miss an update, and I highly recommend you to go and purchase this book. So the link is mentioned in the description below. So the book will not only help you in your sketching journey, but also it will help you in converting your dreams, your ideas into real-time built form.